Now, this class is all about strength, which means I'll ask you more often than not to go only 50% of the depth that you normally would, maybe even less than 50%. Those numbers don't really matter. So don't go too deep into a posture because we're holding for longer and we're trying to switch on a lot more of the body, switch on a lot more of the anatomy when we're in those halfway holds. We'll start off with just a beginner Surya Namaskar and variation one. That's it, really simple. Remember, we're holding postures today. But having said that, if you get tired, just come out and wait till the next one starts. That's all there is to it. Come on up, front of the mat, and let's start with the beginner Surya Namaskar. Starting really easy, feet together, palms together. Beginner variation, release. Inhale, arms up and slightly back. Breathing out, forward bend. Left leg, not too far, knee touching the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, cat pose, upward. Breathing out with a hunch. Inhale, neutral. Out, down dog. Left foot all the way forward. Forward bend. And inhale, up and behind. Straighten, let it go. Continue up. Exhale, down. Right leg not too far. Downward facing dog. Cat pose up. Cat pose down. Neutral back. Down dog. Right foot forward. Forward bend. Inhale, up and behind. Straighten, let it go. Continue up. Forward bend down. Left leg all the way back, knee touch. Into the plank. We're doing variation one. Down to the ground, knees, chest and chin. Chest up in cobra. Hips back in down dog. Left forward. Forward bend. Inhale, up and behind. Straighten, release. And just one more on the right leg. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right leg all the way back. Plank. To the ground, knees, chest, chin. Cobra, chest up. Down dog, hips back. Right forward. Forward bend. Inhale, up and behind. Straighten and release. Okay, before we continue, Judy, I can hardly see you. I can just about see the top of your head. Okay. Yeah, that might work. There we go. Fine, let's continue. Standing postures. Now remember, we're holding for a little longer. First, feet about hip or shoulder width apart, not more than that. Inhale, left arm up. Now, elevate that left shoulder so your arm is actually touching your head, touching the side of your head, and exhale, curve to the right. And remember, less than you normally would do. So about 50% effort, but we're staying here for a while. You can use this right hand for a little support if you like. Inhale back up, release left arm down. Inhale, right arm straight up. Elevate the shoulder, biceps touching your ear. Exhale, curving to the left. Now remember, whatever you do, as less or as much as you're doing, you're absolutely forward facing. You're not twisting in the shoulders, you're not twisting in the hip, and you're definitely not turning the neck. Inhale, return to center, hands down. Now, we're going for a back bend, and this one we won't hold for too long. Feet still slightly apart, keeps it easier. Hands on your hips over there. Now, you can point your fingers sideways or you can point your fingers down, but do not turn your elbows out. Elbows point behind. Breathe in, lift up your chest, open up your shoulders, drop your head back slightly. Now, push the hips a little forward. Keep your legs really strong and curve back just a bit. Remember, everything is about halfway intensity today. Keep your legs active. Inhale back up. Head last when you return from a back bend. Release those arms. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over, hands on the mat, and step back into a down dog. Now, it's just the beginning of class, so if you feel you're tight in the hammies and you want to bend your knees a little bit, that's okay. But if possible, straight legs and really pushing the ground away from yourself. Keep breathing nice and easy. Remember, longer holds. I haven't forgotten about you. Beautiful. Knees bent, step to the front, one foot at a time, and inhale, come on up, any way you prefer. Come on up. And let's go for the second cycle. Now, very similar to that, but slightly stronger. Feet apart again, maybe hip width or shoulder width, fingers interlocked. palms pushing up. Now, if this is too intense for your wrist, you have a choice. You can just grab the wrist. But remember, if you're doing the wrist grab, if you're going to the right, it's right hand grabbing. If you're going to the left, it's left hand grabbing. So remember that bit. Otherwise, fingers interlocked, palms up to the ceiling. Breathe in, reach up. And remember less, pushing your hips to the left, arms to the right, but making sure that you're absolutely facing forward. So you don't want your shoulders tilting, you don't want your hips twisting, everything forward facing. Do less. Both legs active, hips pushing a little to the opposite side. We're not going as deep as we normally would, but we're staying a little longer. Inhale back up. Wait here for a moment. Breathe in, reach up for the ceiling. Breathe out, curving to the left. If you feel too strong, you're welcome to do less. Just come a little higher. That's okay. And that's it. Inhale back up, hands down. Feet slightly apart. Inhale, arms up. And once again, a back bend. Really less. Breathe and reach up for the ceiling. Push your hips forward. Lift your chest up and a very tiny back bend. Inhale up, hands down. We're not holding the back bends for too long. Okay. Forward bend, but we're doing a head up or a face up. So, to make this more possible and achievable for everyone, breathe in, breathe out, straight legs, and start with your hands on your shins. Now, the idea is the flat back. So, hands not on your knees, hands on your shins. If that's too easy for you, go down to ankles. And maybe you can go fingertips to the ground. And some of us will go flat palms to the ground and stay here. Remember, choose a level where you're doing everything correctly. No need to go too low. Looking slightly forward at the ground. That's it. Knees bent. Inhale up and get your breath back. Now, the third and last one of these. Let's make it slightly stronger. Feet stuck together. Fingers interlocked. Cross your thumbs. Straighten out the index fingers and arms up. Now, over here, if you find that your head seems to be interfering with your arms, you can move your arms a little behind your ears, just a little bit. So you don't mess around with the head or the neck. You take your arms a little behind the ears. But if you can get your arms beside your head correctly, That's fair enough. You don't need to do anything. Breathe in, reach up for the ceiling, and breathe out, curve to the right. Remember, no twist. Do less. Absolutely straight arms. Strong legs, hips moving to the left. No twisting in the shoulders, no turning in the hips. Feet absolutely stuck together. Inhale back up. Exhale, curve to the left. Hips moving to the right, straight, strong legs. Inhale, return, hands down. Give your shoulders a bit of a shrug, shake your wrists about a little bit. Now the back bend. Now with this one, you would have to drop the head back. In order to drop the head back and keep the neck safe, you really need to lift up your shoulders. So let's go, feet together, fingers interlocked, index fingers released, arms up. Elevate your shoulders first and then drop your head back. Now remember, really less. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up and curve back. Much less than you can do. Return, hands down. And let's finish this bit. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold over. Now you can keep your knees bent. Maybe you're grabbing your heels or your ankles ever so slightly. Maybe you're hanging your arms. The important thing is to try and get your body to rest on your thighs. So knees bent is a very good idea for now. That's it. Fingers touch the ground, bend your knees. Inhale, come on up. Now let's start with the rest of the standing series. Come to the front of the mat. First posture, triangle trikonasana. Right leg forward, left leg back. Now, everything today is about strength. So we will be changing things a little bit. And remember, we're not going too deep or too low. Arms up, turn your palms sideways, breathe in, tuck the hip in, go forward, and then down, hanging in midair. So you're not taking support from the ground or your ankle or your shin. Now, even if you are touching the ground, it's just a touch, not enough to bear any weight, not enough to help you. Enough. Inhale up, turn to the side, and then turn the other way. Left foot 90 degrees, right foot turning in slightly, arms up, breathe in, turn your palms sideways, tuck the hip in, go forward first, and then go down. As high or as low as you can manage, but without rest. Hopefully, both legs absolutely straight. Chest facing the side. Do not let your chest turn into the ground. Inhale back up. Drop your hands down nice and slow. Shuffle your feet together and shake about a bit if you like. Going into a wide squat, so a wide feet variation of Utkatasana, feet apart. Inhale, arms up to shoulder height. Heels turning in, toes turning out, and then start the seat. Going down only as much as you can. The important thing is maybe you're not going too low, but no leaning forward. Keep the spine as erect as you can manage. And the lower you go, maybe you'll adjust the feet again, and that's fine. So maybe you need to shuffle the feet a little bit as you go lower. That's okay. Vertical back, tail in slightly. Inhale up, turn the feet forward, and then set your arms down. And that's the first one done. Feet together, relax a little bit. Next, going to Parshottan, the pyramid, and only halfway or even less front of the mat. Breathe in. On the exhale, left leg steps back. Now make sure you're absolutely forward facing. You're not turning, not even a bit. Absolutely forward facing. To make it safe and to make it easier, we'll keep our hands on the hips. We won't do anything else with them. Breathe in. Straight legs as far as possible. Lean forward just about 1/4. Weight there. If that's too easy, go down to 1/3. And if you still have a flat back, maybe you can go to halfway, but no more than that. And we're staying here. So remember, less is okay, more isn't. Elbows pointing up to the ceiling, not out to the sides. Inhale back up. Release your hands and change legs. Left forward, right back. And it's an average step. Don't make it too long. Hands on your hips. Yeah, there we go, on your waist. Elbows pointing behind. Breathe in. Create that full length. Lift up your chest. Now maintain that length as you start folding from the hip. Starting with 1/3 or 1/4. Maybe a little more. And the maximum you will do is halfway. That's about parallel to the ground. Inhale up and release. Hands step together. Going into Utkatasana again, but this time a slightly different variation, the traditional one. Feet stuck together. Now remember, in this way, trying not to curve the back. Feet stuck together. Inhale, drop the hips down, arms up, and it's one straight line from your hands all the way to your hips. So you're not sticking the butt out like that. Use your lower belly, control the lower back, and if possible, join your palms and look up at your thumbs. Only if possible. So let's put it this way. If the palms are together, you need to look up. If the palms are apart, you don't need to look up. Just look forward. One straight line. Hands to the side of your hips. Utkat Asana. A little bit of a forward lean. And release. Beautifully done. Okay, next cycle. And this one's a little tricky. We're trying to do a revolving triangle, but with a difference. Now, I'll turn around so that you get a bit better view. All right, stick with me. Revolving triangle, but with a difference. So pay attention. Right leg forward, left leg back, starting off just like the pyramid. Right hand on hip over there. Left arm up, breathe in. Breathe out. Twist as you go down and rest your left hand on your shin. Now focus on turning your chest to the right. Now today we're not taking this right arm up. We're not doing anything with this. Wait over here for a few seconds. Wait. And now that you're confident about your balance over here, let's go release that left hand so it's not resting anymore. And that's all we will do. Ensuring that your chest is constantly turning to the right. Do not let it turn back down to the ground. And release. Come on up. Beautiful. Change legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Left forward, right back. Left hand on hip. Right arm up, breathe in. And exhale, turn as you go down. Turn. Right hand resting on the shin. We're not going any lower than this. Focus on balance because very soon you'll be releasing that right hand. Stay here, be confident. And when you're confident enough, right hand free, not touching the shin anymore. That's it. Come on up and step together. Beautiful. Shake about a little bit. Okay, and that was probably the hardest one that we'll do today. Okay, now the squat for this cycle. Let me show you first. Don't do it just yet. Let me show you what's going on, and then you can decide how far you want to take this. So it's a twisting squat, but with a leg lift. So in a hurry, let me just show you. Palms touch, elbows out. As you go down, your bum goes further back. You turn to the right. Wait here for a few seconds. Then you're turning to the right, left foot, lift the heel off the ground. And only if you're confident, lift the foot off the ground. There we go. Okay. Remember, you don't have to lift the entire foot. Even if you're just touching with the toe, that's okay. And we won't hold this for too long, but let's try it. Feet together. Palms touch, elbows out. Breathe in, down, bum back, further back, wait. On the exhale, turn to the right. Get your turn correct, push your palms into each other. And now, after a few seconds, drag that left foot a little further back and lift the heel off. You're still touching with your toes. If you're confident over here, foot off as well. Just for a few seconds. Release, foot down. Inhale, up. And let it go. Same thing on the other side. Feet together. Palms together, elbows outward. Breathe in. Down, down. Hips further back, wait. Go, twist to the left. After a few moments over here, right foot steps back, heel off. And if you're still feeling okay, right foot off completely. Careful, it can be shaky. Release, foot down. Inhale, up. And relax a little bit. Good news, we've come to the last part of the standing cycle. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over. Left leg back. Now don't make it too long. If you step back too long, we're going into warrior one. And if you step back too long, that might make it a little difficult. So let's keep it easy specifically so that we can stay longer. Turn the left heel slightly inward, flattening the back foot. Get your body up, hands on hips. Let's wait here for a moment. Now, palms together. Do not cross your thumbs. Reach up for the ceiling and look up. Warrior one. So we've specifically kept the hips a little higher than the knee to make it slightly easier. That way you're more correct in the hips and maybe you can stay longer. Absolutely straight arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Right leg steps back. Shake about a bit. Left foot all the way forward. Right heel turns in slightly. Looking forward as you get the torso up. Wait here with your hands on your hips. Perfect. Now let's go. Palms together. Reach up. Beautiful. Hands down. Step back into dog. Shake about a bit. And let's step forward and come up for the last standing posture. Step forward, bending your knees, inhale up. And here's your last standing posture. Another Utkatasana, but this time with a curvy back. So you don't want your hands leaning forward even a bit. Of course, you don't want them going back, but not leaning forward either. Feet together, arms up from the side, breathing in, opening up your chest, sticking your hips out, and arms straight up. So not leaning forward, absolutely up. Feet stuck together. The deeper you go, the more you'll have to curve the lower back, the more you'll have to open in the shoulders. So very simple, don't go too deep, but really reach up. Now, if your shoulders are bothering you, you can just separate your palms and look forward. But if your shoulders are okay with it, palms together and look up. And release. Beautiful. And that's it. Standing posture's done. Down. Have a seat. Get your legs out in front of you and shake them apart a bit. Give them some rest. Now you're probably relieved that the standing postures are over. But no, the seated postures are also about strength today. So let's go ahead with this. Knees bent. Arms up to shoulder height. Lean back just a bit. Start with feet together. And let's go right leg straight. Now, maybe it's not completely straight. Maybe it's a little lower than usual. All okay. Just do whatever little you can. But try and keep a flat back. You don't want to be hunching like this. Lift up your chest. Release. Left leg up. And release. Beautiful. Straight legs. Shake about a little bit. Release any sort of tension in the thighs. And let's go for the next one. Head to knee posture, Janu Shirshasana, but we're doing this differently. Like I said, we're not going deep into anything today. Right leg forward, left knee out to the side. Now, throughout this next one, just remember that any level you are at is good enough, but you don't want to be rounding your way down. Try and have a vertical back. Oh, sorry, a flat back, not a vertical back. So in order to achieve that, let's do it this way. Fingers on the ground, absolutely forward facing. Do not turn at your shoulders. Breathe in, lengthen that back. Now preserve that length as you move forward just a bit, and that's enough. So if you find yourself hunching, you've probably gone too far as you can go with a flat back. Now from here, we'll get those arms up about shoulder level. And you're welcome to stay here, but if you can, without hunching, without collapsing, both arms up. One straight line from your hands to your hips. No turning in the shoulders. Now you can look up slightly, but do not strain the neck. So there's no need to do this. That's overkill, not needed. Just look up a little bit. That might actually help you. Inhale all the way up. Reach for the ceiling, up, 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 and then hands down. Let's change legs. Left leg forward, right knee out to the side. Absolutely forward facing with the chest and torso. Fingers on the ground, breathe in. Breathe out, move forward a little bit. You decide how much that needs to be. Remember, no rounding, that's all. Arms up to shoulder level, and only if you like, arms up in line with the torso. Inhale all the way up. Reach up, release a little bit by doing this, and hands down. Wonderful work. Legs out in front of you. Rest a bit, shake about. We don't have much to go, yeah, but this is all the fun stuff coming up. Knees bent. Arms out in front of you, shoulder height. Lean back a little bit, and both feet off the ground. Now, if you can't straighten your legs, that's okay. But if you can, go for it. And maybe you'd like to open up the V a little bit, and that's fine too. Make sure your neck is in a comfortable position so you're not looking all the way up like that. You're not dropping your chin down. So find a decent place for your neck to be. And down, beautifully done. Rest, relax, shake about a bit. Next, Paschim Uttanasana, which is basically a seated forward bend. But again, we're not going all the way. In fact, we're doing something slightly different. Now, maybe you'll need a belt. Let me just show you with the hands and with the belt, and then we can do it together. So, with your hands, inhale up, exhale forward, hold the feet, and pull back. Now, because you're grabbing with your hands, your arms are absolutely straight. You're not bending your elbows. What you're trying to do is create a bit of a pull back, pull away, not pull towards. You're pulling away. All right, straight arms. The thing to watch out for is because your arms are straight and there's a bit of a pull, you don't want to be hunching in the shoulders. It's almost like you're trying to push your chest forward every time. You're trying to push your chest forward through your arms, through your shoulders. That's what you're trying to do. And what that will do is really encourage you to tilt from the hip rather than bending from the back. And that's what this is about. Now, if you think you need a belt, go for it. The only difference is if you're using a belt, you will bend your elbows a little bit. There we go. And achieve exactly the same result. That's all. It's a lot easier with a belt. So if you want, go ahead, use the belt. Inhale, arms up, straight legs. Exhale, go forward, grab with or without a belt. And inhale, a very subtle, a very gentle pull away, pull back. Straight legs. If you have a belt, you have no excuse. No rounding in the spine. Feet together, do not let them separate. And a gentle pull back. Now it's subtle, but it's constant. Keep lifting your chest up. And release from the side. Lean back, relax, shake your legs about a bit. Next one. Now we'll start this one with a twisting plank. So get onto your hands and knees. Step your feet back, get into the plank, feet together. Breathe in, breathe out. Right knee traveling towards left elbow. Now, maybe you flatten your foot, your back foot, maybe you keep the heel up, whatever works for you. And you really don't have to touch the elbow. As long as you're crossing the center line, you're doing fine. And back, knees down for a little rest. Shake your wrists, roll your wrists, shrug your shoulders. And let's do the other side. Hands forward in the plank. Feet together. Breathe in. Left knee to right elbow. And back, knees down. Relax your wrist. Relax your shoulders. And sit with the legs out in front of you again. Half spine twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. We'll do this with a little difference today. So, right foot crossed over, right knee bent, foot crossed over. But the difference is this. I'll just turn sideways so you can see. Now, normally we have the foot and the ankle touching this other thigh, other knee over here. But today, with what we have in mind, I'll ask you to create a little bit of a space in there. A little bit, not too much. So you move the foot away from the left leg. Let's go. Right foot crossed over. Sit tall. Move the right foot a little away from the left leg. Inhale, reach up for the ceiling. Left arm. Exhale, cross and right hand behind you, turn. Now, keeping your chest and shoulders exactly as they are, only the neck, turn the head forward, not the rest of the spine, just the neck. Turn the head forward, and let's go left leg off the ground. Release leg, release the twist, and go right leg straight. Left knee bent, foot crossed over. Move the left foot a little bit so there's a little space over here. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, cross. Left hand behind you, turn. Take your time with the turn. Very slow, turn your head forward. Only the head. And let's go right leg up. Release leg, release the twist, straight legs, and relax. Okay, we're almost at the end. Beautiful work. Now, here's the thing with almost, right? We're not done yet. So let's just recap everything that we did. Use a few postures. Of course, nothing that we did today is very traditional. We're using a few spin-offs here and there. So let's use a few things and see how much strength we've gathered, how much awareness we've got. Right leg in front of you, left knee out to the side. Both hands in front, fingertips touching the ground just beside your knee. Now, this is the easiest position you can be in. If and only if you like, move further forward. Remember, the further forward you go, the harder it's going to be. Some of us will put our palms on the ground. Some of us are content with fingers. Breathe in. Now breathe out. Create a bit of a hunch, a bit of a rounding in your shoulders, and let's go right leg off the floor. Just a few seconds. 5, 4, 3. Do not strain the neck. 2, and 1. Release. Wonderful work. Let it go. Change. Left leg forward. Right knee out to the side. Starting with hands near your knee, near the left knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. Go forward only as much as you like. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Hunch. Rounded spine. Pointed foot. Left leg off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Beautiful stuff. Okay, we're still not done. Both legs out in front. Now remember, just do whatever little you can. And I would really advise you stay at the easy position. The thing is, if you go further back, then that changes the focus. You can do it, but if you go further back, it changes the focus. All right, so hands near your knees, fingertips makes it easier. Going forward a bit, careful, this one's going to be strong. Breathe in. Breathe out, hunch, rounded back, tail tucking in, engage your lower belly, and let's go both legs off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Wonderful work. Lean back and relax. Okay, time to finish off. Now we're finally resting. Now, when we rest, we'll close up our class using a shoulder bridge and an easy shoulder stand. Let me just talk through both of those first, and then we'll do it all together. So with the shoulder bridge, if you have one block, you'll do something slightly different. If you have 2 blocks, you'll do something slightly different, or even 3. And if you don't have any blocks, you'll do something slightly different. Maybe you don't depend on how many blocks you have and you do exactly what you think will be right for you today. Fine with that as well. Let me just show you. So let's say you have 1 block. Now here's the main difference. If you have only 1 block, you'll keep the block under your hips, all right, not under the lower back. Make sure the chest is open here, really broad shoulders over there, and then straighten the legs out. Don't be in a hurry. Straighten the legs out. You can keep the feet slightly apart to make it more comfortable. Remember, this is the important thing, this chest rising up. All right, so that's with 1 block. If you have 2, that's even better. You can just get both blocks under the hips and you can rest over here. This is really nice, really relaxed. Instead of 2, you can use 3 as well, but not many people have 3 blocks just lying around. Now, if you want to go a little stronger, if you want a deeper bend, but you still want to rest, then today we'll use our hands. There we go, hips up, getting your hips on your hands and using a slightly resting variation of the shoulder bridge. So you're resting on your hands. Of course, you need to have a decent back bend for this. Fine. Now, once we're done with that, we'll come up into an easy shoulder stand, which means even if you can, we will not straighten the legs. Let's go. 1 block or 2 or no blocks. Lying down, knees bent, broad open chest, hips up, and either get your blocks or your hands underneath. Remember, if you're using only 1 flat block, then you got to straighten your legs slowly, of course. Setu Bandha, making the bridge, Sarvangasana. So making the bridge on the shoulders. Very gently release. Either you move your hands away or get rid of the blocks and come down with complete control. Wait over here on the ground for a while and then going up into an easy shoulder stand. Let's go. Legs up, moving your legs towards your face. Now, when you do that, your elbows push into the ground, your hips rise even higher, and you get your hands on your lower back. Now, we're not straightening up today. So, you want that boomerang shape. Absolutely straight legs. Now, there's no need to come too low. Keep them slightly high. All right. Legs a little lower towards your head, arms flat to the ground behind your back, and use your arms to control your release. Control your release. That's right. Hips down, knees bent, feet down. And we won't do the fish. We'll release the neck when we sit up. Straight legs, eyes shut, we're done. Bend your knees. Nice and gentle, drop to the side. Slowly help yourself up into a seated position, simple cross legs. Now, keeping your back absolutely vertical, breathe in and turn your head to the right, just the head, and only as much as you think is okay. Back to the center. Breathe in. Without moving your shoulders, turn your head to the left. Back to the center. Hands beside your hips or even slightly behind. Push your hands into the ground, your chest moves forward, your shoulders roll back. So it's a bit of an upper back bend and drop your head back. Remember, you're not leaning back, you're curving back. Release, come back. Nice and gentle. Drop your hands to the side. Help yourself up onto your hands and knees and gently come on up into a standing position. Feet apart, eyes open. Feet together. Palms together, breathe in and out.